A lot of people are kind of meh about it, but I don't know why I'm excited about this one.
70s pool party. I forgot what it was. Of course, that's why, Barry.
Yeah,
They're going to be cranking out the jams all day from the 70s.
I mean, I got to imagine it's Peter Frampton, Do You Feel? Over and over and over.
Maybe a baby.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I've heard Barry can't swim, so how's he going to go to a pool party?
There you go.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Got to bring my my ring, my life-saving ring.
Don't forget your floaties.
My floaties. Welcome to the What Podcast. We are within 3 weeks, guys, of the greatest week of our lives. There's absolutely no question about it. We love it. We have spent almost every week talking about this thing. Can you believe that? Did you think that would happen?
Not almost. Definitely every week.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like,
all right.
Can I believe this?
Yeah, right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to catch up on some notes. We're going to get into my picks. We're going to sort of go through my schedule for the week.
Yeah, it's that time. It's official picks starting season time. I love it.
I want to say that I was on the phone, and I won't say with who because sometimes these conversations are private, and I don't know whether I have, reason. But somebody with the festival who, when I talked Friday, said, I'm actually on the way to Manchester. And it occurred. I was like, what? Why are you going so early? And then it occurred to me, 3 weeks. No. When my daughter used to work, used to work for them, that's when they would go 3 weeks ahead. So it's real. It's happening. It's coming. As I've said before, guys, the night sweats are starting. The panic moments about, am I ready?
The worst middle-aged mental disease that I have right now is that time evaporates into thin air, and it drives me crazy. Like it's actually a problem at times. It's blowing my mind.
Yeah,
every time I look up, I'm not quite night sweats over here, Barry, but every time I look up, I'm like, oh my God, there's only 3 weeks. Oh my God, there's only 20 days. Oh my God.
It gets worse as you get older too.
Start freezing my water.
I thought about that last night. I don't even have any water freezing. It's okay. You don't have to have it freezing just yet. And I did see a note this morning when I was making notes, and somebody made a huge, great point. Wristbands are arriving. Folks, if you've never been, you're going to want to put that thing on. Do not tighten it. Yes. You're going to want to over-tighten it, and you can't loosen it. Yeah, you can't loosen it, and just early.
I forgot all about that.
Don't put it on until the day of heading. I know because of the fashion and the show off of it. I used to do it too. But it's gonna tighten on accident. It's gonna tighten on accident when you're messing with it. When you're getting dressed, it's gonna snag on your shirt, and it's gonna tighten just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Next thing you know, it's cutting off the circulation of your wrist.
Yep.
You're stuck there.
Or if not, something happens outside of your control. You're wearing your wristband, a week early. You might fall and break your wrist. You might get arrested. There's
way to go dark.
Tons of things.
Taco going dark.
No, I'm just saying, there's tons of things.
Might lose your hand
control.
and then it slips off.
Well, let me finish. There's tons of things outside of your control, and the first thing they're going to do is cut that thing right off if they have to operate or do some kind of procedure. Doesn't have
He's
to be
not
arrested.
wrong. He's not wrong. If you get arrested and they throw cuffs on there, it's going to screw up your Bonnaroo time period anyway. But it might tear up your wristband too. But don't put it, regardless of the reason, don't put it on early.
But you know what I'm saying?
It
might get snagged on a handrail. There's just no reason to put it on before it's time.
I think that's funny. But it also reminds me in the early days, if you guys remember, people would wear them till they became rags and literally fell off. That was like a pride thing, right?
It went on. That probably still goes on. And that started in the early version of my young days on the festival farm. And yes, that thing didn't come off for a long time. Now, they weren't cloth, and they were more just like the plastic. And then, they were kind of uncomfortable. But after they got more comfortable to wear.
Yeah. You remember Brad saying,
Go ahead.
You remember Brad saying one time they went to a restaurant and the waiter had a Bonnaroo wristband from 2 or 3 years ago.
That's pretty strong.
Made
right
somewhere
there.
else, probably.
Yeah, you know how big a germaphobe he is. That disgusts him.
You haven't taken that off since when?
Yeah.
That's like wearing your ski tag on your down vest for, in June.
Or leaving it all on your travel bag where there's like a 51. Well, I mean, look behind me. All my credentials are hanging on all my stuff back
I
here.
get it. We're making fun.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but as soon as I get home, I cut that thing off as quick as I can. I can't stand to have it on
Put it with the
longer
other
than I need
20
to.
of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I actually intended to start with something else. I need to apologize to both of you. I've told you starting on Wednesday, I've been nothing but pissy. I'm in a bad mood. I don't know why. I'm usually not that guy, but if I've snapped at you, I apologize. But I do want to say this.
Yes.
If you are one of those guys who the Lord unfortunately blessed you with a very small penis and you feel the need to go buy a really loud
Why you
car.
gotta call me out?
But here's the thing. You guys didn't go buy some car, some penis extension that you feel like you have to drive at 1:30 in the freaking morning up and down Brainerd Road until 4 in the morning.
I'm guessing that happened last night in the
Oh
in your
my
neighborhood.
God, I am
Cassid the quarter.
Yes. I'm so mad and I can't get over it. I just can't let it go.
Did screw your sleep up all night, I guess?
Oh yeah. Wide awake, because it was every 3 minutes. He'd turn around, make a loop. He'd go back up the road, and then he'd stop, and then he'd rev his engine. And I'm like, okay, dude, I don't know which girl or guy pissed you off, but it wasn't me, Sorry.
Now, to be fair, Barry's sour mood started days ago.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, this only
it didn't
enhanced.
start last night.
I told you when, Friday. I said, guys, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not you.
Here's a wall of text.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Anyway, I needed to get that out.
This time of year, getting close, it brings a level of stress. It'll only build. It'll get better. It's a roller coaster ride of emotion.
I need Bonnaroo. I need some positivity.
As you get ready, but that stress and anxiety is going to pick up. You know it, Barry. We talk about it for 20 years. I mean, it's going to pick up. So,
yeah. Well,
I'm
you got this, Barry. I got faith in you.
Well, this ought to make you happy, Barry. This is our 250th episode.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, is it 250?
Isn't that amazing?
That's some confetti to throw around.
Yeah.
And I wanted to add to the tail end of my wine. Because I like little cheese and crackers with my wine. I have nothing to complain about, guys. My life is awesome. I have a great family. I'm getting ready to go to Bonnaroo. I get to talk to people like you. But I have to have that moment every now and then.
Barry, every now and then, I do this local podcast here for you guys that have no interest in it. There are times I start the damn thing and I feel just fine. And just because of a couple things I write down to myself, by the end of it, I'm so pissed off. Yeah. I get it. You don't do this very often. I do it all the time. I get it.
I think one of the comments I made to you, Brian, was, I'm pissed off that I'm pissed off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you were like, I get it. I get it.
I am so mad that you're making me mad over something that I don't even care about. It's a
absolutely. All right. So
negativity that we're all going to get away from.
Speaking of milestones, the Roo Bus just did their 200th episode.
They did 200. I know. Can you guys believe we have all these podcasts, much less that we've done 250?
I was a guest on there just to represent the What podcast. They wanted to get all of the Bonnaroo podcasts kind of together. And so it was fun. There was, shout out to Daniel and Charla. We had the Rooham guys on, Michael, Parker, Reed, and
Jake.
Jake.
Wait, that's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it on I put it in pencil on the to-do list. My bad for not making, but thank you for showing up, Lord Taco.
Yeah, Seth was there, Bonna Dude. He does seems like every one episode a year almost, but hopefully he does some more. And then Kiefer Vance, our dude that gave the entry, I can't remember which one it was. He's doing a podcast with Ryan from Camp Clear Piss called The Roo Report.
Camp Clear Piss, man.
I thought the What podcast was a bad name.
It's a great camp name. Maybe it's not a good podcast
All
right, what the hell do
That's all
I
I'm
know?
going to say about that.
What the hell do I know?
But yeah, it was good. That was fun. It was a good listen.
Yeah, it was good.
And again, it just further proof that this thing is an amazing event that we love very much. And
the community of it is all part of it. I
absolutely.
love it.
And I can't wait to see everybody in less than, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, one note real quick, just on I'll just grab one small note to self on today's list, is that it is still barely in the 80s here in Tennessee. Barely.
Yeah, I'm glad
I know
you
that
brought that
any
up.
second we're changing from that.
Don't
lead
be
to the
fooled.
long-term look of the forecast mean for a little milder Bonnaroo this year? We'll see, because it has not been hot down here yet.
Don't be
Well,
suckered.
you hope so, but yeah, the long-term forecast is useless.
I know.
It-
It
everybody-
happens every time.
Yeah.
It's like we hit
I know.
June 5th and it's somebody. Yeah.
It's been a milder May, though. It's wet and
It
mild
has,
here in May.
You're right about that. It has been mild.
Wet and mild, so let's see.
Whether or
We'll
not
see.
that means it's going to still be mild in a couple of weeks, don't know.
When we had Kyle on the other day, he said something, and man, it hit me between the eyes, where he was joking about driving around in his bus with the windows down to get ready for the humidity. And I'm like, ooh, that's really not a bad idea. I've been doing that. I turned the air conditioner off, rolled the windows down.
Well, we've been dealing with this our whole life, so it's a little
know.
bit easier for us, and
Yeah,
depending on where you're coming
we're
from.
close
But
enough. Yeah.
whatever practice works, whatever exercise you got,
Do it.
do it. And if you think it works, then it does work. So keep it up.
All right. We
What's
all made
how about
this.
CaveJam, guys,
There you go.
coming
That
up
was
this
my next.
weekend already. Speaking of things coming up fast, I will be there a little. You guys a little-ish. Taco, the whole time, most likely.
Whole time.
Yeah, Taco, why don't you tell us your plans? It's this weekend, so just a day and a half from the time you'll hear this, if you're here for the very first thing in the morning, like I think you always are.
Up in Pelham.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
Caverns.
Well, okay, yeah. This is the CaveJam Festival that's at the Caverns in Pelham. We've done an episode with Todd Mayo, the owner. We've gone to a few
One of my
shows there.
favorite.
Yeah, this is kind of a 2-day all jam bands. You got String Cheese Incident doing 2 nights. You got Infamous String Dusters, Andy Frasco, who's played Bonnaroo, and then a handful of other kind of up-and-coming jam bands that hopefully we get maybe to either interview or cover.
Yeah, we'll
some
see
way.
how that goes. I'll tell you what I hate that I'm going to miss, no matter what time frame I do show up that day. This is just up the road from us. Sorry, I just had to pull it up. The Bertha Grateful Drag
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
you might
Late
like
I
that
see
one.
that.
in the Caverns, because they'll have the outside amphitheater stage going and the caves, and they'll have some rotation and all kinds of different activity. There'll be cave tours as well, by the way. You can go earlier and do that on that property. But the Grateful Drag, I want to see that, but I will not be able to, because that'll be a late night one that I'll be long gone by the time that happens.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Don't know when we're going. The three of us need to talk all week. We're going to figure it out. Look, Taco, you're going pretty much all weekend, I assume. You'll probably get there as soon as you can.
Probably get up there Friday or Saturday as soon as I can and get set up, and it'll be.
You've
a
got
good
a mild weekend of weather around here. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, it's looking good. It'll
Have
be a
you-
good pre-camp prep for just make sure everything.
Oh,
works.
yeah. What
Yeah,
a good
it's a
trial
good
run
Bonnaroo.
you'll have.
Exactly.
Yeah, trial run. Yeah.
Have you heard from anybody that we know that's going to be there? Not artists, but you already hooking up with other folks that you know are going to be there? Just us? Okay.
Most people we know that are Bonnaroovians are probably not crazy enough to run off to a cave a week before the day.
It's an awesome
Yeah,
venue.
I think most
Bonnaroo
everybody's
started.
like, "Are you crazy? That's too close to Bonnaroo."
Boy,
It's
it's
such
gonna
a
be
great
it's gonna
venue,
be
though.
it's gonna be a good one. 2 nights
Yeah.
of string cheese. That's gonna be huge.
And thanks to Todd and Jeff for hooking us up, and very excited to see just to be there. Very excited
Yeah,
about it. That
yeah.
was, as
It's
you alluded to a minute ago, Brian, it was such a great interview, and we had such a blast. So I can't wait to go back and actually see an event.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
just
there.
a beautiful area. Just the whole area is nice.
Yeah.
Even
So if you
you're not
go-
into jam,
If you're listening and you go, look for the bus, Russ with the bus, say hi,
I'll
get a
be there.
picture. We got to figure out interviews, or us. We got to hook you up with some cameras and microphones and whatnot, so you can just
hopefully on Saturday afternoon, if everything works out, we'll all be hanging around at least for a little while. So
absolutely
looking forward to it. Memorial Day weekend. The map was released for Bonnaroo. I want to get to that here in a minute, but first, real quick, guys, I have just done my little spring tour here, leading up to, the warm up bands for Bonnaroo. So like Pearl Jam, we've gone over a lot of this stuff. Billy Strings, not as much as to the point I'm about to make, but Wilco, some other local shows that nobody cares about, and then 311 here in Chattanooga just 3 days ago from the time we're recording this, and it was awesome. Everything I was hoping it would be. But all those have in common many things, but one thing in particular: a bunch of 40-plus-year-old guys and women.
Oh my God! All right, you going there? Let's do it. Let's do it, because I got one for you too.
Okay, and I'm gonna make it quick, but I've had fun with at times, and sometimes seriousness on some local conversation podcast stuff of what generation are you and all this stuff. Are you Gen X? Are you Boomer? Blah 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 blah. It's a round and round circle of probably a mostly worthless debate to even have to begin with. But I have now gone backwards. I'm a millennial. I am not a Gen Xer. I think we all age the same way. I think you can change our names with nicknames all you want, but once you get older, you start turning with what's the dumb commercial about turning into your parents. It's a good commercial because it's real. And I'm ready to go backwards. I'm now a young millennial guy, not a Gen Xer, after being around all these ornery Karens. Let me talk to the managers. I ran into these people all over the place at these shows, and I am now officially saying I've converted to a millennial.
Oh, my God.
From now on.
Where do I start with this? Okay, so Friday night, I got to go see XTC. EX.
Yeah, you even bought the merch and everything.
That's another one of my stories. I never used to buy T-shirts, but ever since that beach show in Nashville, Taco, now I'm a T-shirt guy. I gotta have one. Kind of like,
cool. Good.
And I won't. We don't going down that road again, but it's like the bandana thing to me because it starts a conversation. I wear it, and I had so many people at this show. I wore that beat T-shirt.
This shirt gets me all kinds of conversation.
Thank you. That's my point.
Yeah, beat shirt gets me comments too.
Yeah, but the XTC, Terry Chambers, the drummer, Andy Partridge hasn't done any XTC shows in forever, so this is as close as you're going to get. It was amazing. I went with my two older brothers and two of my nephews. So there were five of us.
Family reunion then.
At Barking Legs, which is like 85 people. So we basically took up the entire row.
It's like a listening room performance hall kind of place. It's not really like there's not risers and like
it's so great.
Stadium seating of any sort, even in a small. It's kind of a performance room.
Yeah, you could reach out and slap the singer if you wanted to. Type of.
Yeah, the front row is right there at the edge of the stage.
The acoustics are so good.
Acoustics are very good, and it's got a very good reputation.
But this is so sad. But my oldest brother, I didn't know this. I mean, he posted on Facebook that after the Beatles, XTC is his favorite band. And if you know my brother Mike, that's an incredible statement.
I'll say I don't know him, but that's an incredible statement.
I mean,
about anybody
no matter who you are.
I'm like, oh my God. So
that's just a big 1-2 jump.
So he's like, the one after the band. So at 6:30 that morning, he said, we need to get there early so we can get a seat. And I'm like, have you been to Barking Legs? That's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Guys, he texted me at 6:45. We're on the way. We rolled into the parking lot at 7. And I'm like, we've got an hour. There were 2 other cars. What are we going to do? And we got out and hobbled. And I mean, it was so pitiful.
Did you bring a cooler and tailgate out of the back trunk like the good old days?
It was so pitiful. We made fun of ourselves. We have become those old people. and even at intermission, and I won't name names, but you know a lot of the people. You know the people that were there, and they were all like, "My God, when did we become so old?"
Yeah, my old manism that I get called out on it every time is when I go to Central Time and then I'm traveling back to Eastern. That all I do is talk about the time is screwing me up, and an hour is screwing. Like it's 8 hours away. I'm like, in 8 hours, like it's gonna be 9, but it's really 10. It's like, and they're like, "Would you shut up? It's an hour, you idiot."
Yeah, it's like, why are we here so early? Because we got to get a seat. Because I can't stand. I can't stand all day. This whole.
It's got to be close to the bathroom. Is it close to the bathroom? What about the concessions?
Exactly. It's funny because it's real.
I know.
But man, what a great
these
show.
buffoons host a podcast
I know,
about
right?
contemporary cool things.
I know.
Yeah.
Y'all laugh. You used to laugh at me, Brian. You
I
remember.
know. I'm laughing at myself. All three of us.
Yeah. That was such a great show, though, man. Golly, those hits.
Awesome.
I love that band, and it was so much fun,
Yeah.
and they were terrific.
We've had a lot of good shows here locally, nice warm-ups, getting ready for, it's just been a great year for me. Nobody asked, but I've been loving it. And
Yeah, I laughed at you when you said that warm-up. It's always fun when Pearl Jam is like your warm-up band.
Yeah.
Like you said.
and 311 at the small club here in town for some weird reason. And even
Speaking
Wilco for a throwback. Sorry.
Speaking of bands, John Says Hi. I think you used to play with him in a band. They had a show at JJ's last night.
Oh, yeah, my old band. My old garage band. I used to hit me for calling it a garage band. But, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, John's a good dude here locally in Chattanooga. Long time, 25-year musician. But,
yeah.
All right, should we talk about this map for a minute?
Yeah.
Real quick, before we get to the map, let's not forget we're doing a live show on Thursday.
Oh, my God.
See,
My
that.
bad.
Yeah.
I was late for the pre-show meeting.
Well, speaking of the map, we are on the, if you look at the map where Planet Roo is and the house stage, that's where we're going to be Thursday at 4:00 p.m. We're doing a live podcast. We've got special guests. We've got Brad Parker. We've got some other people, maybe.
Many people from Manchester and the
Yeah. Our
Coffee
theme,
County.
It will be us with Brad talking with some locals about the community outreach that Bonnaroo continues to do and has always done. Millions and millions of dollars, an unbelievable impact on the community, and that's what we're going to talk about. And then we're still working on our guest artist. I'm excited. I think it's going to happen. I feel good about it.
I don't mean to derail this all of a sudden, but I think that overall topic could be and might be that moment too, but even further dug into could be so fascinating. If you want it, this is not what this is going to be for. Sorry to derail. But if we went back and did almost like documentary style to talk to people, officials from 20 years ago, and talk to law enforcement, probably retired at this point, and just get those counter thoughts.
Yeah.
I think people would find that fascinating. Maybe we'll do that down the road.
Well, we can. Because it's honestly, I'm glad you brought it up. It's one of the things that I used to write about. Because, I had to, when I was at the Chattanooga Times Free Press, we had weeks leading up to, and so I had to come up with topics.
Yeah.
Couldn't always talk about a band.
We need a Bonnaroo topic again, Barry.
Need a topic, yeah.
Oh, it's this weekend. It's really fun.
And, but the community kitchen, everything, and we'll get into this on Thursday in a couple of weeks, but everything from like people leaving at the end of the festival and leaving their sleeping bags, their tents, whatever. They gather that up, they sell it. Some of that goes to charity. Food, vendors that don't sell everything goes to the community kitchens in Coffee County and even Hamilton County, or at least it did.
The community is more involved than you'll ever know.
It's unbelievable. And, obviously that's part of that is because Bonnaroo wants to be a good steward. They realize, let's be honest, they realize they kind of screw up that community for a month.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the wrong word, but they take over. Let's put it that way.
That city has not grown in
there's
22
nothing.
years.
There's not a whole lot other than
It is not other than the infrastructure of the hotel. Not to bore anybody with some small stuff, but outside of that, that city has not grown in any way other than maybe numbers of population because the whole country has grown a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's still been able to do this and do it. I don't want to say flawlessly because nothing's flawless, but really, really, really well. So it'll be fun to find out. We won't know exactly who we're talking to officially until we get there. Doesn't really matter. There'll be city officials. There'll be people who understand what the assignment is. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, regardless of how far we go into it.
It's funny
and we're going to do a meet and greet too. So
yeah. So if you
say,
listen,
we always hear people say, "Oh, I'd love to come find you and say hi. When can I see you?" We're like, I don't know, because we never know where we're going to be.
You.
Yeah, but this is going to be, Thursday at 4, house stage. Yeah, you can come and meet up, and we'll hang out.
Sorry, I'm looking up the name. It won't matter. But when you said that, Brian, Steve Graves, Sheriff Steve Graves, he was the sheriff for Coffee County for many, many years.
Oh, back. Yeah.
I had his phone number, and he was my contact. I'd call him every day. And I'll never forget, I asked him one day, I'm like, well, how do you, you guys, Bonnaroo takes over, you got all kinds of things going on. How do you feel about it? And he said, well, a lot of what happens is 100% opposite of what we try to do for a living.
Yeah, keep order.
With drugs, which was mostly what he was talking about. And he's like, but, it's a big benefit to the community. And forgive me, Sheriff, if I'm paraphrasing poorly.
It's just such a culture shock for them back then and not knowing how to handle it. Yeah, not knowing how to handle it, not knowing where the discretion should be in a small rural area with a, can you imagine, you said Officer Graves, right?
Steve Graves, yep.
Steve
nice
Graves.
guy, super guy.
Can you imagine 5 years prior to that, where his career was, and then thinking, hey, in 5 years, buddy, you're going to have 80,000 people here for a week minimum.
Yep. And by the way, they're going to be bringing drugs. And what we're asking is, unless they, do something stupid,
just kind of leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
Wait a second. What are we doing here?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's a story in itself right there. That many people probably don't want to tell.
That's right. Don't ask, don't whatever. And you mentioned numbers. I did ask, again, the person that I was talking to last week about sellout and numbers and what we can expect. And to paraphrase, we're not going to see 100,000 people. We're not going to see the 80,000 people numbers anymore. But as we have said on this show many, many times, they do a terrific job of managing the space and the crowds. It's going to feel crowded.
It's going to feel crowded, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys remember that 40,000, 45,000 year, was it 2016?
16. It felt crowded that year because they made it feel crowded.
Exactly.
Not in some campgrounds because they were empty, but in Sunroof.
That was our friend Ken Weinstein's famous quote, never not great. One of my favorite years, 2016. And it was half, basically.
Bonnaroo can shrink and expand based on the needs of how many people they're going to have. So if it's going to be less people, they'll bring the fences in a little bit just to make it feel less empty. And likewise, if it's selling out, they'll expand a little bit. So, yeah, it's going to feel full.
Well,
it's going to feel full.
In that respect, they will not be bringing any fences in this year. I mean, it's going to be nice, a nicely filled out farm.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it, but my point in asking is, because I kind of joked when we were talking, I was like, man, I remember 28, 29 when like the porta potties were overflowing and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. He's like, oh, no. We're
28, 29.
Oh, in 28, in 18, 19.
No, 2008, 2009.
08, 09. 09.
You remember how bad it was.
Wow. Well, that was a lifetime ago. Yeah.
I know, but do you remember? That's always my fear. It's so crowded.
Yeah.
And they do such a good job
of
managing these numbers.
Now.
So anyway, I just want to bring that up as well.
So map here for a minute.
Yep.
So speaking of which, exactly kind of what we're talking about. It will not be much different than it's been in the past. I went ahead and took a look at it last night, and a couple things jumped out at me. I went back a little bit. The mound or the hill, the one that Brad Steiner famously said, "Hey, you moved the hill."
Yeah, the one that's on skate.
We still don't know whether that's accurate or not. Anyway, The mound is now, it's a designated kind of VIP, landmark of sorts, and it's on the map. It has been since 2023. So I thought that was new, but it's not. But what is new over there are these cabanas, right? Where these 30-person things that's most like, that's for a big corporation. When you go to the site to look how much it costs, it says contact us. So $20,000 I've seen somewhere on Reddit talked about. So that's the new thing I see. That's over there by the bees, right? So y'all still stay away. The bees are in the area. Bees. Yeah, beware the bees. They don't mess with the cabana people. They know better. They're rolling with a lot of money. The bees leave the cabana people alone, but they will viciously sting you if you go over there as a GA.
Absolutely.
So I noticed that new in the what field, and I don't know what kind of footprint that'll take up, but that was one thing that I noticed different.
That and Infinity Stage looked like that whole corner as we expected. Right, it's exactly where we thought it would be, and looks like it's going to eat up that whole space. And I think you guys remember, did Brad tell us on our show, or did he mention on Reddit or wherever, that little ditch that we all stepped in and nearly broke our ankles?
Oh, as you walk down into
that area, they've leveled it off.
Yeah, they did a lot of grading and I guess groundwork, whatever you call it, to get that kind of more level and stable. Yeah.
Those are the kind of things I love. Those are the things that's the reason we started this podcast to begin with.
So I'm telling you, I think they did move the damn hill. I think Brad was right all along.
No. And it's
this is an inside joke that goes back like 15 years.
It's calliope.
Also, if you notice, there's no bleachers, which we knew those were going away. But
bleachers gone.
Yeah, they're not on the map, which a lot of complaints from people that just thought they were too big and took up too much space and were right in the way, and
I watched
hardly anyone sat on them.
Alabama Shakes on those bleachers for some reason. I followed somebody up there 2013, 12, 11, something like that, and then wondered why the hell I ever tried to get up on those dumb bleachers, and it never looked back. And so I say good riddance, bleachers.
I think the only bleacher show that I can remember that didn't even feel like I was all by myself was Nile Rodgers, and that one was full. But yeah, it's a good idea. Like a lot of things that they do, it's a good idea. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
It's just kind of in the way. It's kind of in the way, and your primary attendee doesn't have any interest in the bleachers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, one thing I did want to say. Sorry, go ahead, Taco.
I was just saying everything else is there. There's Snake and Jake's Love Shack is right there next to Planet Roo. There's all the tents. Everything seems to be in the right place, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because that's what I was about to say. I wanted to give everybody out there in case you're looking for Planet Roo. If you're at the Witch Stage and you're staring at it and you're watching a show and you turn around and you walk straight out towards what would eventually be the carousel or the disco ball entrance. So you're just basically walking a straight line out. You're going to pass the Bonnaroo Superstore, the big merch, the main merch tent.
Yep.
It's not on the map like as Superstore, but it says merch, and that's you can't miss it. Then next is Planet Roo, and then next is Snake and Jake's. So if you're walking that line on your way out, they just all run in a line. If you see the merch tent, if you see Snake and Jake's right in the middle, that's where Planet Roo is.
Just look for the massive crowd. You'll find us.
Yeah. Just look for the red carpet and all the sparklers and confetti machines. So yeah, just in case you're looking for that, but you regulars know where. Even though they've moved Planet Roo around a little bit over the years. Yeah. They've done different sustainability initiatives there, and they've moved it around, but that's where it is now. And
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does the post office still exist? Is that hut, or did they? Is it gone?
The little like yurt thing.
It wasn't little. Right? It was like some
big,
group. Yeah, it was clay. I mean, it was a full-on post office.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
That's where they used to. That's where the stage was in my memory, because they used to do yoga in that
right
area.
To the side of it. Right? That could be. See, sometimes my head gets a little mixed up. According to the map, it doesn't feel like that's the exact same spot for Planet Roo. But
yeah, it's a little further, like what you're talking about, and closer to Snake and Jake.
I forgot about that. While I was looking at it.
All right.
And
Anyway.
then only other thing I saw notable on the map I wanted to point out was the Who stage. And
Yep.
we were off when we were thinking about how far it might be out. It still ain't like I love the Who stage. Sorry, it still struggles for me, and I'm going to go out there and get a look at it. I really became a fan of the Who stage.
Yeah, it was great.
But where they put it, they're calling them plazas or pods now. I can't keep track.
Plazas.
But whatever
Plazas.
So at Plaza 4, not far away, outside from that from the disco ball, former clock tower. It does on the map have a nice little looking green in front of the stage, and it does look like a pretty good crossroads, kind of like a T-boned crossroad. So you're going to get a lot of traffic, I'm guessing, just foot traffic all day. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like is it doesn't look like a mini tent like they do, like in a scaled down version of a map. It just says Who stage with like this little mini icon. Because what the Who stage has turned into over the last however many years, decade possibly, is just a scaled down mini this or that tent.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning a nice place for shade. And what is a band trying to make it at Bonnaroo love? A nice shaded place where people will come and stand and listen to your crappy or wonderful music.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it has that. I hope it does, and the graphic just does not reflect that. But it is right in front of the Grove. So if you're in the Grove running vertical and you're heading towards Centeroo, you will run right into the Who stage on your way down in. So the placement is pretty good. Bonnaroo, I know you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
the placement is
now
pretty
that-
good.
That's what I
Now
was
that
gonna
we
say.
see it on the map, it's in a pretty good spot. I think it's not too far.
But
It's
if it
not as
doesn't
far
have
out
that
as what we
tent
thought.
thing, if it doesn't have the tent thing, that's good.
Yeah.
I will say I feel confident that they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they have my trust, even though sometimes I don't think they believe me.
Yeah. No, I think everything is about the fan experience. And I feel pretty good that, they obviously was a trade-off because it was where the Infinity stage is now going. So that's the trade-off.
Yeah,
had
and
to
it's
go
a good
somewhere.
trade.
It's a good trade. We'll take it, right?
It's a good trade for the festival. It's a good trade for the fan. The Xfinity stage, or Infinity. Infinity, my bad. The Infinity stage is still all the talk. I mean, people are still just chitter-chatting, all through the threads online. It has not lost steam of people.
Correct.
Very, very, very excited about experiencing that, and you're looking at a guy right now who is also very excited about it.
Me too.
And so that was my notables. But other than that, place looks about like it should.
Let's give a quick shout out to Pondo. He said the other day he's not going to be on the farm this year.
Love you, man.
Due to medical reasons. So we miss you, Pondo, and hope to see you there next year.
Saw that, Pondo, and I love that we share a love for the band Soul Asylum. We've tweeted about this back and forth a few times. So, Pondo, you're my Soul Asylum brother.
Brother, you were on my mind when I was having my bitch moment about it 45 minutes ago because my world is, nothing.
You're fine. Shut up.
I'm okay. And I apologize for having my moment, but I needed it.
Stephen to say you're doing pretty good for having that.
I feel so much better now. I had to get that out. I'm good. All right, so when we come back, we're going to get into my picks and kind of go through the weekend. So let's do that in a second.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to go through my schedule. Brian, because you've been every year, you probably understand this a little more maybe than Russ. Every year seems to be a little bit different, right? Like last year for me was the Hug and Howdy tour because there were a lot of people that I wanted to see. The Rooham guys, the Roo Bus guys, Pondo, who wasn't there, but that kind of thing. In addition to the music. This year, I'm starting to feel like I want to take some pictures. I want to
get a good feel for the entire landscape.
Yeah, I used to do that for the paper, and it was a lot of fun, and then it became just a chore, and it became work. And the paper never ran the pictures, so I just kind of was like, well, all right, I don't have to do that work. I'm just going to enjoy myself. This year, I feel like
I'm reverting back almost, maybe, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of that. Plus, going through the lineup the last couple of days, this one feels so different. It's there's something every day. It's a really solid start to finish lineup where I kind of feel like I just want to get out and walk around and see what happens type of thing.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Well, as we've talked about many times, that's a perfectly reasonable, acceptable, and maybe even optimal way to experience the festival.
The opposite of that for people who are listening, especially if it's your first time, is like, oh my God, these are the ones I've got big stars by. You know, gotta see this, and how am I going to
disappoint yourself?
How am I going to get from here to there and there to there? You know, that kind of thing, which is all fine. That's normal. It's what we always do. For me this year, other than Friday, and by the way, Friday day has sold out, right? And when you look at the lineup, it makes perfect
Friday
sense.
Is done.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. That's a solid day.
So loaded.
Yeah. So anyway, having said that, Thursday, obviously, typically that's when we do a lot of our work. That's when I try to line up artist interviews and we go into media, which we love. And we do, you know, talk to 3, 4, 5 bands.
Pretty much just set up shop there for about sometimes 6 or 7 hours. And And just sometimes you have to wait those out. Like they're not hard times. Sometimes it's a 30-minute window, that kind of stuff. So
right, and it's a lot of fun for us. It's what we love. I love, and it feels like okay, we've done our work for the weekend. Now we can relax. In part because of the 4 o'clock thing that we're going to do at the Who stage, which we're so looking forward to. I'm not sure that it's going to happen for us to do those interviews on Thursday, so we might have to move those, which is fine. I'm super excited about it. So Thursday for me is get ready for 4 o'clock. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get up there on Wednesday. I'm actually thinking about it because there's so many things going on out in the plazas. But if not, I'll get there Thursday morning, noonish, 11, you know, is typical. Get set up. We'll do our 4 o'clock thing.
And everything goes wonderful. It's a beautiful hour and a half time at the How stage, and everything's fantastic.
Yeah, I said Who, the How stage. Excuse me. You're right.
Yeah, How or whichever one. Yeah, Planet Roo are going to be the greatest thing we've ever done.
Correct.
Then it's time for your Bonnaroo day.
Then can get going. And for me, the Marcus King of the Trees, thanks to our friend Kyle, they go by there. I want to see the Infinity stage, right? And so that's maybe it, or our friends Dogs in a Pile after our interview with those guys. So
yeah, Dogs and Marcus King are going to give you some overlap there,
I know.
Which is at that time of day on a Thursday, you should be able to easily carve both those in if you wanted to.
So it's going to be one of those where kind of where the crowd goes. I'll probably go the other way. You know what I mean? Just to be comfortable.
Sure.
Got to see Luke Combs.
I was about to say, Luke. Surely you're going to Luke.
Got to see what that's like. Country music superstar on the wet stage on a Thursday night. Got to be
Good
there.
Choice.
Yeah, got to be there. And then if that goes well, Dom Dalla, you know, go by and then
our resident EDM fan.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting there, and I really want to see Insane Clown Posse.
Got to.
Yeah.
Got to see it at least on the periphery for me, at least, right? I don't want to jump out of my lane and get into yours.
No, it's where I figured we were all in agreement there.
Well, yeah, we should do that one together.
Yep, that will be a lot of fun.
Last year, remember we got Beth to wear the What Podcast shirt, and she got it covered in the guar blood.
Yep. Yeah, now we need the...
Are we going to do that this year with Fago?
Yeah. We have to talk about... I ain't doing it, but we can talk about somebody else doing it.
Maybe we can get... you remember the year Kai did up your face? Maybe we can get Kai to give you a
with
little
the mask.
clown
yeah,
face.
she needs to give you a juggalo face. Yeah.
She just graduated high school, by the way. We'll have her on one of these days. A long time Bonnaroovian.
But that's it. So, and then obviously get home or get back to camp, and
I mean, that's a good Thursday in my book, Barry.
that's pretty solid, right? I'm happy. I'm happy with that. And then Friday.
And then now what is becoming legendary, Friday.
It's so solid. I mean, I don't
Is
even
it
know.
Friday yet, Barry? Is it Friday yet?
Well, it's got to start at the beer exchange, which means what? They moved it, right, Russ? Didn't it change? Is it earlier or later?
It's a little earlier, 10:30 a.m. this year instead of, I think it's usually been 11.
Yeah.
So,
Boy.
Yeah.
Let's get that thing started earlier.
Well, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Don't start early, exactly. So, I'm really looking forward to that, too. I'm glad you mentioned the beer exchange.
And that is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It is Friday, and that is another opportunity for a meet and greet.
Yes.
Definitely be there.
If you missed this Thursday, come Friday to the beer exchange. Group Plaza, I think that's Plaza 5.
I think so. It's way out.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll
It's
get
way
our
out.
ride, and we'll have some stickers. So if
We'll have stickers. We'll have PBR. We'll have some other beer.
Local beer from Milwaukee
yeah.
or wherever the hell that stuff's made now.
And then, assuming that goes till noonish anyway, or a little after, we'll head back, catch our breath, and then I'm not sure when it starts for me. I know for sure Flipturn, 4:45, if not sooner.
On the what stage?
On the
Oh
what
my
stage?
God.
Man, that's gonna be so
cool
good.
for them.
I'm so excited for those guys, and at some point we're going to interview them. So maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's after the beer exchange. Ooh, that would be perfect if that worked out, wouldn't it? If we could get them around 1 or 2.
If they don't big time us and not be able to make it happen with
their
their big
management's-
what stage.
Their management's
appearance.
already been
But
cool.
serious talk, it wasn't long ago we were with them at our festival, Moon River, like 3 years ago, something like
Absolutely.
that. And I mean, they just got some music and video games, new music out. I mean, they were ascending.
Yep.
I
Russ still has an open invitation to Grandma.
To Grandma, yeah.
Still waiting on it. Yeah, maybe.
But
she'll
I
be
wasn't
there.
sitting there thinking we're talking with a what stage
Right,
act
right.
in 2 years. I didn't. That wasn't in my mind then. So how cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
The conflict there is Mannequin Pussy. I'd love to see them. So
That's such a fun,
I know, right?
trashy, like just good / alt.
it's just
punk
one of those
rock.
you got to be able to say you saw it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's good. I mean, it's good. It's not. This is not a gimmick. It's a good band.
Yeah. Same with MJ Linderman. All the right conflict right there.
Yeah, they're back to back though. Those will be easy to be able to get to if you want to do both.
Yeah. And this is what I was kind of referencing about the lineup and the lanes and the whatever as we talk about it. I think, and I don't know if Brian Benson and those guys did it on purpose or they just got lucky. But this lineup talking about the crowds, you got Foster the People, you got Flipturn. That could be a massive crowd if there were not other options. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there would be some crossover there. Flipturn and Foster the People. I could imagine. I mean, I can't connect those dots quickly in my head, but I would feel like there's some crossover audience there.
Well,
but there's so many other things to go.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. Yeah, you could, because you got to get ready for King Gizzard, right? I mean, people are going to be getting their space for that, and back and forth, and it's that way all day. That's my point. I don't think we're going to just see ginormous crowds in one spot on Friday because there's so many options.
Because exactly to your point of just the way it's laid, it's almost impossible.
Right.
Like they've made it. Back before we understood the way these were put together, it used to be like it feels like you hate us. It feels like you don't like us.
Yeah, why are you doing this?
The
to
way
me?
that you're doing this. And today, this Friday, would be an example of, I'm not sure if Bonnaroo wants me to come to this.
Exactly.
Because Rainbow, Goose,
Yep.
Glass,
Absolutely.
Flipturn, Foster, I can't do all this, Bonnaroo, but we all get it now. We get it now.
Yep.
I'm going, I'm zapping back and prior to knowing the information, but
yeah, and John Summit on 2 different places, of the trees, a couple of different options. So I think it's just really smart what they've done, and the more I dive into it and just put myself on the farm, thinking, what will I do? It's really smart. They continue to figure this out, and as Brad has told us with the data points, it's not an accident.
no.
Right.
Does Goose do anything for you that day?
It's, honestly, it's going to be a crowd thing.
Yeah, well, it'll be on a walk towards
Yeah.
many places you'll be going
Exactly.
anyway, so you might end up there.
Exactly. It may be one of those that I go take a picture. And that's
which stage at 9:30 on Friday?
That's a complete, first world thing for me, is because I can get into the photo pit for the first 3 songs, theoretically, for most of these acts. So that's kind of what I meant. I might take advantage of that option. And for any of you guys listening, sorry, but that's my thing. I haven't done it in forever, but it's fun. That's the good news. I can get in there for 3 songs. The bad news is I'm kicked out after that. So,
Yeah, and then good luck.
Then I got to go find a spot.
You're on your own, buddy.
So yeah, it's pluses and minuses.
You don't have to stay here at this show, but you got to get the hell out of right here.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So, and then hopefully, because that's going to be such a long day, Megadeth. Got to see it.
That's late for you, Barry.
It's late. But it, maybe after they kick me out of the Goose photo pit, I'll go take a little nappy and then go back out and see Megadeth. Because again,
never know.
Gotta lay
is that
eyes.
Friday?
Gotta lay eyes. That's a good Friday, isn't it?
That's a great Friday.
Great Friday.
There's no wrong answers on this Friday. It's great.
Correct. Everything's good.
Yeah. All right. And then so Saturday, again, back to the actual reality work thing. That may be the day, and the 3 of us, you 2 and me, we're going to need to talk about it.
Well, there's not a lot early for any of us. If I'm talking for the whole show,
Correct.
That's it's later in the afternoon and into the evening before
Yeah.
the big hitters or the mini, the in between hitters start going. So what are you looking at there?
Well, I mean, Jessie Murph, because I like her, but also because our good friend David Bruce has a contact. So maybe that's one of those days where we set up some interview type
Photo
thing.
shoot day,
interview day, see what we can set up, get our work done, relax, that sort of thing.
Because for a slow morning for me, and sorry to bogart your picks, a slow early afternoon on a Saturday picks up into the evening time.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty there.
Yeah. No, it's.
Speaking of David Bruce, too, you mentioned him. It sounds like he might be joining our camp this year.
I know. I'm so excited.
Kind of talking
about
back
that.
and forth.
Finally,
That's exciting.
we rebuild. We're rebuilding after Rome fell. It's taken years, and we're starting to rebuild.
I love it.
We will rebuild.
I love it. But yeah, after that, again, it's I'm excited about the SuperJam. I know a lot of people are kind of meh about it, but I don't know why I'm excited about this one. Mount Joy, when I
70s
leave,
pool party. I forgot what it was. Of course, that's why, Barry.
Yeah.
They're going to be cranking out the jams all day from the 70s.
I mean, I got to imagine it's Peter Frampton, Do You Feel? Over and over and over.
Maybe a baby.
Yeah, but I've heard Barry can't swim, so how's he going to go to a pool party?
There you go.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Got to bring my my ring, my life-saving ring.
Don't forget your floaties.
My floaties. And then, honestly, there's no one. There are several bands that I want to see and will be happy to see. There's not a can't miss on Saturday night for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Other than maybe Olivia Rodrigo, because I think she's so huge right now, and I would feel like if you asked me a month from now, did you see Olivia? And I'd be like, no, I missed it. I feel like that's one of those.
I agree.
that I would feel bad about. Sasquatch.
Completely agree.
Yeah, Sasquatch. If that works out, I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Sasquatch is playing like 4 times on the farm,
Yeah.
so there are chances to see Sasquatch. But yeah, that will be great.
Olivia, and then the Arcade Fire thing. What are your thoughts on that? I saw the Saturday Night Live thing. I keep reading all kinds of stories.
I've never been one that can sit here and tell you that I get this whole Arcade Fire thing from the jump.
They got a few their set that I saw several years ago a lot, but yeah, Suburbia is really good.
Some of it's fine. That's a 1 a.m. start Saturday, so we'll see.
King Giz, obviously, I don't know when I'm going to see them, but I will. You know what I mean?
I'm the same way. There's 3 chances.
Right.
I better not miss one.
You got plenty of chances.
Right. But I'm gonna see one, and if I see one early, like the first one, and it's awesome, then maybe I beeline it for the other 2.
We'll see.
That's a not sure yet. So, but that's it. So Saturday is really a just see what happens day.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people are going to be in that same boat, which might lead to a little bit less congestion in Bonnaroo for the day.
I think the whole weekend's going to be that way, quite honestly. We could probably talk about which shows I think are going to be jam-packed, but I feel like they've spread it out pretty well. So I'm, again, on Sunday. When does my day start?
Probably late.
Probably late, yep.
Because my day starts late on Sunday. More on that down the road at a later show.
Yeah.
But this is your schedule, and I'm guessing that some of the same things I want to see would be some of the same things you want to see.
Yeah, that may be, again, the infinity stage is such an outlier, and it's so close to us.
Mm-hmm. Like at any moment that we could get in for whatever reason is a moment that we're all individually or as a group going to take.
Correct.
Right? Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
We're not going to just be able to say, "Hey guys, I'm going to the infinity stage. See you in an hour." Like that's not how this is going to work.
No, and there's really nobody. Thanks to Kyle for sending stuff and other people sending tips and names. But there's nobody that I have to see. But if it is as cool as we think, and it's an easy nothing else going on, let's go hang out there.
Yeah,
I could see spending a lot of time there.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's one goal I gotta have is can't leave without at least getting inside that.
Absolutely. No, I go the other way. I can see me spending a lot of time there if it works out that way. If it's
that's the only thing I'm concerned of is
right.
It's like the old comedy tent.
Right. Exactly.
For years and years and years, nobody went because they didn't know how to get in or they had to wait in a long line.
Exactly.
And that that can deter people, which is the same problem is gonna happen with this. So yeah, availability is going to be the best ability on this one.
And absolutely the rest of it after. So I'm probably 3:30, 4 o'clock before things start for me. And after that, it's going to be literally where the crowds aren't kind of thing.
Yeah, I hate to spoiler alert all the way to my picks in a couple of weeks here, but if King Gizzard, if you're giving me the option of a couple of stage tents early on, which you are, or a witch on Sunday.
That's a good one.
If you take all variables out, well, then it's King Gizzard on the witch.
That's a good one.
Every day I'm picking that over a tent stage. But
here
we go.
Because
we
guess
plan
what?
And deities laugh.
Because guess what? If you can wander over to the other and see Big Gigantic or Barry Can't Swim or Jack's Mannequin during those sort of time, that 2 hour, 3 hour time slot. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of we'll see where everything is.
I almost said the Coke stage.
I know you did.
Jesus, sorry, nobody. We don't have time to reset all that. The what stage is solid. That a Remy Wolf Vampire Weekend Hosier. If you want to just kind of camp out in that field on a Sunday when the volume of attendees is going to start shrinking every minute of the day on Sunday, the volume decreases. You just wanted to if it was a nicer day, camp out at the what for Remy, Vampire, and Hosier just for a chill ass Sunday.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty nice.
I could see Sunday night in the what field in the back with a bunch of us just
taking me to church and
take
shit.
me to church. Yep.
That's my friend is always saying.
Yep.
Oh, that Hosier, that take me to church and shit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Hosier's great. I'm not poking fun.
No,
but
I'm with
was.
you.
My friend was.
I think that's a great way to end a festival.
I do too.
That
Super
just
solid,
seems like a pretty
That
mellow.
what field on Sunday night, if you can make it and you can get yourself in a position where you feel good and you're happy you made it, that's going to be a chilled out, fun hang out with who's left and get the last moments of a great, hopefully for everybody, great weekend. Hosier's a great way to end that.
So yeah, there you go. That's my week. I'm gonna be curious to see over the next 2 weeks how different your lists are than mine. I'm betting we're probably closer than typically, but we'll see. It doesn't matter if they're different.
Closer.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. You guys do what you want. That's what it feels like. So
we'll find out soon enough as the march to the farm is on.
Absolutely,
that's right.
All right, like everybody else, guys, you need to get together with your group. Make sure all your lists are checked off, and make sure you're not looking at Brian saying, "I thought you were bringing ice or tents or whatever." So
yeah, what happened to all those frozen water bottles you said you were bringing?
Exactly.
Dude? Oh shit, they're still in the deep freezer at my mom's. Oh no.
Yeah, they're still at the store.
Yeah.
All right. What else? So that's my list. It's a good show.
Pretty
We're
good
3
list.
weeks. Which one of you is next? Have you figured it out?
We're about to have a post-show meeting we'll talk about, but
I'll fight it out.
I'm voting right now for Taco to go next, but we'll see
You
how
want me
it
to go
unfolds.
next? Okay.
We got a big
Sounds good to me.
weekend with the CaveJam coming up too, so a busy times. But boy, are we lucky to be able to do such fun stuff at a fun time of year, and I
Absolutely.
cannot wait to see everybody in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from now.
I'm glad you
By the
said
way,
that.
I did see something. Somebody said something about Athletic Brewing. They're the
Oh, yeah,
non-alcoholic
yeah.
beer sponsor. They're apparently going to have bandanas at their booth, limited supply, but and they're not Bonnaroo, but
I love this. We talked about this briefly while you were getting connected earlier, Barry. I don't know why I didn't pop it in my head sooner. Every single brand, no matter if you're sanctioned or not, Shakedown Street or whatever, needs to have the "you don't got bandanas? Well, we do." And whether
Yep.
you got enough for everybody or not, doesn't matter. You can pretend like you do. This needs to be the selling point. It's almost like, I don't want to say tariffs. If prices go up for some reason, everybody starts selling buy now before everything goes wacky. No, this is not quite that. It's, hey, they don't want to give you something. Look at all the bandanas we got for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's an
Yeah.
excellent move. People will
everything's an opportunity.
they will run, not walk to the athletic booth to get a bandana.
Thank you guys for putting up with my bitchiness for an hour and a half. I feel way better.
I thought it melted away fast, Barry.
I need that 5 minutes, man. I got to have a 5-minute pity party, and then I'm good. I'm typically embarrassed that I had a little toddler on the ground kicking. All right. Talk to you guys next week. Thanks.